Great to have you both here with us. But to Joseph, to you and Dean, Jenny and I had the great privilege to meet Joseph and Dean just over a week ago at the Ethnic Business Awards, where Joseph was honoured, taking out the major award of that night. Joseph came to this country fleeing then Czechoslovakia, and he escaped with two other young men, and he was the only one who got through. And he came to this country, like so many have, and he has established something absolutely magnificent here in Tasmania. He is an incredible Australian story. He's an Australian hero. And I asked him a little while ago, as we were walking through the bottling area, and I said, "Did you ever think it would get as big as this?" And he said, "I just thought I'd have a butcher shop." And look at all this. And it just shows what is so possible in this country. And so, Joseph, congratulations. I'm so pleased to be here with Jenny to honour you here on your vineyard.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward, though, to many more coming to Australia, not in the way that Joseph had to come, but as the international visitors. There's 1.2 million visaed up and ready to come as of today. And the flights are starting to come, and they will continue to build up. And here, particularly in Tasmania, our Tasmanian tourism industry, and the tourism industry isn't just hotels. It's places like this. It's so many parts of the economy which depends on international tourism. And Tasmania has world's best tourism product, not just world's best Chardonnay here at the winery here, but world's best tourism product. And to have the international visitors come back, that wait is over for them, and that wait is over for us. Which means we can safely reopen, and I want to commend the Tasmanian State Government for the great job they've done here on the ground in managing COVID, and Premier Gutman and the whole team, which means that we can be opening these borders up, and we can be opening the international borders. And all of those tourism operators that have persevered and pushed through can now get to the point where they're welcoming those tourists back into the wonderful experiences that we have here in Tasmania and right across the country. So it's a very exciting day, one that I've been looking forward to for a long time. From the day that I first shut that border, right at the start of the pandemic, which enabled us to have one of the lowest death rates from COVID anywhere in the world, one of the strongest economies to push through this pandemic, one of the highest vaccination rates in the world. We are set up as a country now to really take advantage of the economic opportunities ahead of us, and Tasmania in particular. You know, there are half the number of people without a job here in Tasmania now than there were when Labor was last in office at a federal level. We've cut the number of people out of a job in Tasmania in half. And that is a tremendous achievement by the small and medium-sized businesses, particularly here in Tasmania, the strong leadership of the state government here in Tasmania, with good, strong economic policies, working together with a strong Liberal Nationals government at a federal level, which is giving businesses lower taxes. And I'll ask the Treasurer to speak more about that. But before I do that, there's another announcement we're making today, and I'll have a bit more to say about it with Senator Dunningham a little later on this morning. But we're also announcing $86 million to support our forestry industries in new plantations all around the country. The forestry industry has taken, like the tourism industry, quite a hit, and particularly in their case because of the terrible bushfires we had all around the country. We'd already invested $80 million helping, whether it was the sawmillers or the plantation owners or others, trying to get back up on their feet. And now we're investing $86 million. That's 150 million trees, new plantings, that will help us achieve our goal of ensuring that we have a sustainable forestry industry, not just here in Tasmania, but all around the country. You know, in other states, in Labor states, they're trying to shut the forestry industry down. Here in Tasmania, we know how important it is, and that's why I really appreciate the great partnership we have with the Gutman government here, who believes in the future of the forestry industry on a sustainable basis. So do we, and that's why we're putting funds in on a shared arrangement. We put in 40, state governments put in 60, and then that's matched wholly by the private sector. So what does that look like? That means we can provide a $4 million grant for a new planting here in Tasmania. State government puts in 6, and then the private provider puts in 10. 4 million, leveraging 20 million of investment in new plantings for our forestry industry. And we need this, as the Treasurer will tell you. The pressures that are on timber prices and getting access to timber products to support so much of our housing construction industry, absolutely critical. So this is an exciting plan, and this is in the budget. We're announcing it is in the budget. This is locked in funding to be there to support our forestry industry and the forestry industry jobs right here in Tasmania. There's never been a question mark when it comes to the Liberals and Nationals and our forestry industry. Can't say the same about our opponents at this election. They've got a very checkered history. And when you look at what's happening to the forestry industry in other states and territories where Labor governments are running the show, they're running those down. Not here, and that's why I'm pleased to be supporting Premier Gutwein and the work we're doing in Tasmania on this issue. I'm happy to take questions after, but I'll allow the Treasurer